Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hormata Kamalatunisa, and my ID number is T2019-6167. I am an undergraduate student, and I am in the 5th semester of English Education Department 4. In this opportunity, I would like to tell you about phenomenological research. Okay, what is phenomenological research? This research describes the meaning for several individuals of their life experience of a concept or a phenomenon, according to focus on commonality of life experience within a particular group. Or in other words, we can say that we as researchers do the data collection by doing observation to know the essential phenomenon of individual in their life experience. And in this research, we have two word question. The questions are what have you experienced in the term of phenomenon, and what context or situation have you typically influenced your experience of the phenomenon. Okay, and how do we do phenomenological research? So this is the procedure in conducting phenomenological research. Problem. As we know that research problem is the preliminary step in conducting. Okay, and how do we do phenomenological research? So this is the procedure in conducting phenomenological research. Problem. As we know that research problem is the preliminary step in conducting research, and here's the researcher also need to determine that phenomenological approach is suitable for the problem itself. Problem best suited for this research is something which is important to understand about the common or individual experience of a phenomenon. And the example of phenomenological research is like online course experience, student experience in studying at home, and so on. Second is data collection. The researcher get the data from somebody who have experienced the phenomenon by conducting a deep interview or multiple interviews to get more data, and we can also get the data by doing observation. Participants describe their life experience. This part actually is in the interview section of data collection, and in this part the researcher should make the participant feel comfortable to share, describe, and tell how they experience the phenomenon. And the researcher can ask two broad questions like what I said before, like what did you experience the related the phenomenon, and what situation usually influence your experience in the phenomenon. Go on for the next step is data analysis. After collecting the data, the researcher begin to analyze the data and develop the data to be an understanding of how the participant experience the phenomenon. In this and this is called a step horizontal. And what is horizontalization? This is part of the phenomenological reduction process whereby the researcher gave equal value to all the participants' statements. The researcher will remove all repetitive statements as well as the do not relate to the research question. And the next step is interpret the data. After analyzing and develop the data, then the researcher used to write a description of what the participants experienced the phenomenon. Also, the researcher write about their own experience and the context and situation that have influenced the experience. And the last is present the finding. Present a finding of research is telling what the researcher got during the research. Okay, let's move to the strength and weakness of phenomenological research. The strength is the phenomenological approach provides a rich and complete description of human experience and meaning. Findings are allowed to emerge rather than being imposed by an investigator. Careful techniques are used as faithful as possible to the extreme in moving step by step and in being ever mindful to not delete from attitudes or what it's destroy anything originally present in the initial meaning units of the participants transcript and support. And now let's move to the weakness. The method depends on the articulate skill of the participant who provide the information. Logistical and generalization issues are connected with this, and conclusion depends on the particular participant chosen for the study in its orientation toward a particular time frame or moment. The method may misinformation about the border periods or about the development of time course of an experience in focusing on a risk distribution on experience. The method may misinformation about what lead lead up to that experience, what its outcomes or sequence might be. Okay, maybe that's all from me, and last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.